All right, on today's episode, we're going to do the Oracle of Delphi, divine medium, delivering cryptic prophecies. Let's check that out.
Nice.
All right. Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Metal Bullet Podcast. Oh, yeah. All right. So, the Oracle neither conceals nor reveals, but indicates.
This is good.
Can you enunciate this name for me? You're probably better.
I can. I've got to get a little close. That is Heraclitus.
Heraclitus. He probably was a very noble person. So maybe one day he'll be a topic.
So I believe he is the philosopher, and I think he was a philosopher, who they attribute the phrase that one can't step into the same river twice. In other words, the water's constantly flowing. So you never really step into the same river twice.
So it's
essentially like change is the only constant. So yeah, the way I see it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think. So I could be wrong. Someone can correct me there too if they want.
I like what you said, so.
Yeah. You're nice.
Even if it's wrong, I still liked it. All right.
Hopefully the internet likes it too.
As the sun rises over Delphi in 500 BCE, Aristonike hurries to the temple of Apollo. Like all Greeks, she's known the legend of Delphi since childhood. Two eagles released by Zeus from opposite ends of the earth met on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, identifying Delphi as the center of the world. Marking this spot was a mysterious stone guarded by a legendary serpent called the Pythia.
There's already the serpent. So I know I'm pulling off this quickly, but that is another thing. We just did the Ophamine with the eyes, in the sky. And the flood. They're very unanimous among religions and stories. The snake is just there all the time.
You're right. There's another image that keeps repeating itself, is the serpent or the snake.
When I grew up with the Catholic religion, like the snake was just evil. And as I've expanded my worldview, I know in India it isn't considered evil. They go with the Nagas. Like the snake is kind of like it's everywhere, and it's still here today. And not just an evil way. It's like on that rod of it's on the amulets.
Oh yeah, the medical symbol, a symbol commonly associated with medicine. Just escapes.
And that's plastered all over the place.
Wild, isn't it?
You know, and that's not, people don't point at that and go evil. That's like on ambulances that are giving you back a life. They're not taking your life. They're trying to save your life. I just had to say all that because the snake to me has become like, it is like really fascinating. And I don't think there's more like fake news on anything more than the snake. You know,
I think you're right too, because I do believe in the Gnostic Gospels or maybe even the Gospel of Thomas. I forget, but one of them, the snake is interpreted not necessarily as Satan, the way like the mainstream Bible might, but more as kind of a warning or a symbol of wisdom, like to be careful what you worship. In other words, it's kind of warning you, and maybe even a precursor in some cases to Christ, if you go down that road there.
Look in this story here, this is like a beaker, right? Like a beacon. They said the two eagles came, and then there was a snake. Like it's guiding them to this point or this knowledge. And even in Adam and Eve, it had the knowledge. It just said, "Do you want it?" And then it's wild. Like the snake is kind of everywhere.
But when Apollo killed the Pythia, he made Delphi his home.
He killed the snake to make it the home, right? Because the snake was evil, right? So that
they take care of that,
right? They're either taking them out,
and reptiles, right?
or they're accepting them,
establishing the city as the best place in the world to seek.
Only after he killed the snake, though, it's the best place in the world.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the snake's good or bad, but I am happy that I understand another side of that tale.
It's cool to get the different sides of the same symbol or story.
Yeah,
right? I think that's
I can't
true.
just as I grow and learn, just be like the snake is just evil and that's it. Like I need more information about everything, not just the snake.
Give me more, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to learn more. Just it's bad. Don't even look. Don't even look into it. I'm like, well, that's kind of not good enough for me anymore. I mean, I don't want a snake appearing in my room tomorrow or anything, but it'll freak me out. But unless it's got wisdom to give me. Of course, if it starts talking, I'll probably freak out even more.
If it does, get a video of it. That'd be really cool.
I will, and then we'll have it for next video.
Directly from the god of prophecy. Well, almost directly. At any given time, a single oracle known...
Now look, see the eye? See the eye in the sky? It's like literally what we were just talking about, you know?
That's right.
As the Pythia communicates Apollo's will. Reserved only for women, this is the most important job in the city, and one that Aristoniki will soon have to take on as
It's so nice to see women getting a role, because a lot of these classic stories, the woman is so diminished. Like Adam and Eve, it's all on the woman. I think we covered
it's the woman's fault, right?
we covered the Shinto religion, and that surprised me because they also put it on the woman that there was that imperfect child. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's that old. Yeah, yeah.
it's
that's
weird.
right.
It's almost, you could start to see like the tropes of the storytelling, like those high concept God stories. They do repeat. They do. So at least here the woman is like, she's in control. She's powerful.
current Pythia in training. Despite serving in the temple of Apollo for many years, Aristoniki is still uncertain that she's wise enough to fulfill this role. But these doubts will have to wait. Today she'll be shadowed by officials from the city's governing council. If her performance meets their standards, this is the day she'll become the new Oracle of Delphi. In the heart,
It's very annoying meeting people's standards who perhaps created those standards before you knew what they were. Like, you're just doing your thing, and they're like, that doesn't go to our standards. And it's like, well, I'm just basically like following you. Like, you're going to tell me what is correct and not correct. That's kind of annoying.
You wonder too, there's like an imposition there, almost a kind of coercion, but also like I wonder, like, is the standard in fact a standard that's measurable, or is it just kind of
Is it just
like
a
the
way?
whims of the setter or the evaluator, right? It's
I
like,
think it's a form of control. It certainly is.
there you go.
Because
yeah.
it could start as community based, but we all know that eventually goes away, and it becomes like, how we have mayors and governors, and it just has this whole hierarchy to it. And then eventually the standard is just like so set that it's impossible to change the laws, and if you do, it's like so slow, and so they make it burn you out.
of the temenos, or sacred enclosure, Aristoniki greets the current oracle and the city officials. The group joins the procession to the Castalian Spring, where the Pythia performs a purification ceremony to prepare for a day of prophecy.
Okay.
To establish whether Apollo is willing to be consulted, Aristoniki brings water from the spring to the temple priests, who sprinkle it on a goat.
Okay.
If the goat shudders, it will be a prophecy day. If not, travelers from as far away as modern-day Sicily, Egypt, and Afghanistan will have to wait an entire month to consult the oracle again.
Wow. So this is based off of the goat.
It's whether a goat shivers, and thus, like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You got it. I was literally going to say that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's like, really?
So people
But
from all around, I guess, if the goat, it's funny, there's a goat there too, because the goat is often associated with the evil, which is like the satanic or the snake.
Right.
You got another one of those
You got the goat,
symbols, those icons.
Apollo is in a communicative mood. Delphians are first in line, most seeking advice about business or marriage. Following the locals are other Greeks, and then non-Greeks, including ambassadors from great cities who plan to ask about whether to go to war or where they should found new colonies. Most supplicants bring two options for the Pythia to choose between, alongside the obligatory sacrificial cake. Aristoniki reports back to the
obligatory sacrificial cake.
A sacrificial cake.
I didn't think I would hear those words in that order today.
I know, right? That's a mind bender and a tongue twister in itself. An obligatory sacrificial cake.
Sacrificial. Okay.
I guess
I honestly don't know what the word sacrificial means. Like, truly.
Oh yeah, I think it's just for a sacrifice. Now what they mean here is hard to say. I don't know what they mean by what they're sacrificing it, who they're sacrificing, or what they're sacrificing it to. But yeah, it's a cake for sacrifice.
Where's my I want that information.
Oh, yeah.
What was the word? Sacrificial?
Sacrificial? Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see, sacrificial. The word sacrificial, okay, anything relating to used in or offered as a sacrifice. But it was a cake.
But it was a cake, which is interesting. I wonder if it...
What is a sacrificial cake?
I plead ignorance, yeah.
I never heard such a thing. A sacrificial cake refers to a food offering typically made of grains, honey, cheese, or fruit, baked specifically to be given to gods, spirits, or ancestors in religious rituals. I gotta wonder though, like when no one actually eats it, do they still think it worked? Because if you offer something that is like otherworldly or something, perhaps they're not going to come take your offering because you're just like, again, the ant. The ant is offering a crumb to me. I'm not even going to notice you had a crumb. So like sometimes it must have not worked out, their sacrifices, where they just did it. Or maybe
the ant will assume I took it, like if it ends up, let's say this crumb ends up in my shoe, it vanishes, right?
Right.
It's just stuck in the sole of my shoe. Let's say maybe he'll think, oh well, this being must have taken it.
He liked it.
He liked it. Yeah. In the case of the gods, I guess as it's just rots or goes stale or whatever.
Yeah.
Sacrificial cakes did. The gods are pleased or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Priests ate it.
I think that did happen a lot of times. I think that you trick people to bring offerings and then you say it worked and then you keep the spoils. That's absolutely happened. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe it worked sometimes. Who am I to say? But I it's kind of funny. All right, let's go on with the sacrificial cake.
The Pythia, pointing out important figures and sharing some of their concerns, all while the city councilor takes notes on her performance. Then the Pythia disappears into her oracular chamber, known as the Auditon.
So real quick, so things come to people in solitude, right? That's usually when you connect with the divine. It seems to be in a place of solitude. So Moses went and climbed this mountain and the burning bush, and that's when he saw it. He didn't see it when there was like 100 people around him. So it's weird, right? Like these people emerge from solitude and probably darkness,
solitude,
and that's when they get the answer. And there's this podcast I watch, Area 52, where he practices some meditations and different things. And some people want to be off the grid and less phone, less things like that. And he said something I thought was interesting because he's practicing it now, going in like a dark room and just allowing himself to like not think of anything. He goes, I come out of that dark room with more information than I came in with. And I was like, that's interesting. When you're detaching from everything and you're alone and you're in the dark, you seem to get more. It's weird.
It's like you're right. And there's that kind of, in my mind, just sound a bit like a shill for my own practice. It's probably the big benefit of meditation, because I find just shutting off, or not shutting off, but more or less just sitting in silence. And just
I would say tuning out, right?
Tuning out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like tuning the nonsense out, or even just being aware of what's around me, just existing in a moment for a period of time. It really does give information. There's kind of I'm calmer coming out of it. I could process information as I start acting in the rest of the world again.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to go away for a moment and get like inspired.
It seems like it's something we innately are good at, but since you and I grow up in a world, the Northeast, which is a very active place,
constant distraction.
We have this ability to still kind of go back and go within. And a lot of people don't like it at first because they don't want to be bored. They don't want to be disengaged. But I think it is a way to get your own personal Wi-Fi online to go somewhere else. It makes a lot of sense to me.
And it brings you back to who you really are at essence. I mean, at some level, you kind of connect with what you really are, not what, to pick on our devices, not what our devices say we are. Or every distraction they contain, all the ads and all the shows and all the, I dare say podcasts and YouTube shorts and things. Yeah, like
of course.
Like instead you can connect to like who you really are on the
disengaging, because sometimes I'll watch like TikTok shorts and like maybe I'll get mad because it'll show like the news and I'll see like someone who got murdered or something, and I hear the case and I'm like, people are all terrible, and like the people who lost their loved one, it's like the worst thing on the planet, and I feel for them. But like you'll start to like be like, well, it's them that did it, and maybe it was them that did it. You know what I mean? Maybe you start to get so tribal. You start to get so
you're right. You start to think like, as they kind of want you to, whether they know they're doing it or not. It's like, you get tribal, you get almost dogmatic, and dogma and tribalism are the two
and there's
twin. I think
there's power in that. There's power in having the same ideas as people around you, because it happens all the time. People, instead of being on your own and weak, you start to just band together, and they're like, we hate those people, and you're like, all right. It's simple. You have a group, you get together, and you know who your enemy is, and therefore it makes you guys more united. And
it's true.
When you go in a dark room, you're allowing yourself to really unwind in a way, and you're giving yourself the opportunity to perhaps turn off. And then you might turn off so good that when you return, you're like, oh my God, dude, we sound like crazy people. Like, we're berserk.
Honestly, I could not have said it better myself. You absolutely, in my mind. Correct on that.
I agree.
Tune out and you realize, and I've done it myself. I've come back out. I've watched news that I've watched before, and then I think, man, like I watched this a lot, didn't I? You know, after my like 40-day meditation streak, and I'm like, they kind of sound a little crazy to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
not
do.
Horrible.
Tribal.
But they sound a little like, I don't know.
Us versus them. It's you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to feed my mind that every minute of every day. No way.
But if you get in that cycle, it certainly can almost immediately replace that personal time. And you meditate, so like you understand. I'm getting better at it. I've been doing more of the transcendental stuff, and I'm getting way better at listening to songs I like, and I put them in a different language because I don't want those words to dictate. You know, if you hear something like, the Linkin Park songs, I fell down, I got up, it's your fault. You start to like look for that in your life. You start to become like emo, right? So I don't want any words to like, I want whole other languages. In fact, I listen to like dead languages, because then I can get that energy from that song and that sound, but it's not dictating my opinion in it.
It doesn't like change. You're right, because the words can sometimes, if we understand the words, it can change. Like in a way, I kind of do it too, where I'll listen to a song in another language. Now, at some point, I'll want to understand the lyrics, but at first, I just enjoy the sounds and the music itself. Yeah, the art behind it.
It's the best way to enjoy music, in my opinion, if you really are a fan of it, because then it isn't changing you, and it's not changing how you dress, how you talk. It's not, because you don't know what it's saying. You could say the sounds, but people are like, "What are you, weird?" Like, I don't. He's saying weird things, because it's all tongues, right? Languages are all tongues. And we get used to, you're used to the way I'm expressing myself. But if I go into German or something like that, you'll get a little, and you'll start to assume what I'm saying, but you won't quite know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
Inside, she'll channel the inspiration of Apollo, uttering ambiguous prophecies the questioners must interpret.
Look at her. So again, if anyone watches the video we did before this, which was on the Ophi meme, it was the eye. And it's funny that in this interpretation, here she is, taking her moment, and there's the all-seeing eye, kind of, Apollo.
Apollo there, that which sees.
Which gives, which enlightens, or
that's right. Yep, it enlightens.
Or manipulates. We who knows?
Into enlightenment, perhaps.
If say we're looking for advice, me and you, right? We want to make a good financial decision, and then we meet some lady like in downtown Philly somewhere, and she's like, "All right, listen, sit here for 10 minutes. I'm going to go in this dark room, and when I come back, I'm going to have your answer." And then it's something important, right? And then we agree to it. She comes back, and she's like, "Bet on black." Da 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 da. Like, do you believe that?
Yeah.
Like, really? You just went in the other room. You could have lied. You could have just like laid on bed for 10 minutes.
That's the problem, right? Yeah. I think keeping it cryptic adds that, like as the Oracle supposedly had, adds that element of mystery. But you're right. She goes in, bet the farm on black. Or whichever one. It's like, I don't know. Like, I'd probably not going to take
this. Is kind of where the gypsy culture gets involved, right? Like tarot cards, because they're they could easily manipulate the one person and then go to the person who owns the casino and be like, "Listen, this dummy's coming over. They're going to bet it all on black. Put it on red." You know what I mean? So there's such a manipulation that can happen with this supposed to be sacred.
There can be,
and there is. That's like the gypsy stuff. That's how they got a bad rap, because some people do take this and learn how to woo you and swindle you.
People kind of.
They're like, and if it doesn't work, they go, "Just believe." Just have faith.
Just believe, man.
Just believe.
Yeah. It's funny because you're almost gaslit into thinking.
Yes.
And so many people do this. Oh, well, the reason it didn't work is because your faith or your
Yes.
belief wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
So really, it's on you. Then I'm
Yes.
like, ah,
What a psyop.
yeah, and then
Oh,
yeah, it really can be. Yeah, it can
it
be
is.
used for. Yeah, it's like self-help gone horribly
The
wrong.
Aditon is the one place in the temple Aristoniki isn't allowed to go. So while
Interesting.
consultations continue, the oracle in training sets off to collect wood for the temple's eternal flame. While gathering branches from the sacred laurel trees, Aristoniki spies wealthy Greeks training for the upcoming Pythian Games. Second in importance only to the Olympics, these games bring great riches
That's so cool because that's the Olympics we still do to this day.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
and
it's
attention
awesome.
to Delphi.
Yeah.
Typically, Aristoniki would pause to admire the athletes, but today she's more focused
yeah.
on impressing her observer. Taking the exact amount of branches necessary, she hurries back to the temple for her long-awaited evaluation. The counselor who shadowed her shares his notes with the other officials, and after a brief discussion, their leader nods. He endorses Aristoniki as the new oracle, and the Pythia offers Apollo's blessing on their verdict. Approaching Aristoniki beside the sacred hearth, the Pythia finally unveils the secrets of her trade. Passed directly from one oracle to the next, no history book will ever record these details.
Word of mouth. It's done in a secret room.
Yes, behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. The transfer of power.
Yes.
The way in which it happens. It's like they're magicians. They're like magi. That's some people believe
in
Jesus.
a kind of simplistic and secular sort of way too. When a president of France, kind of an odd fact that came to mind about the transfer of power. When a president of France, what he'll do is the incoming president, after he's elected, will go to the Élysée Palace. And the first thing they do is the sitting president, the one leaving office, will go into the room with the incoming president, and they have what's called the conversation. And supposedly that's where the nuclear codes are transferred to the new president of France. And at that moment, technically, that's the president of France. And then the rest is just like ceremony, like whatever they do it.
Right.
So it's kind of wild how here, the Oracle, it's kind of a similar thing. Behind a closed door.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
I think everybody knows that saying behind closed doors. Like that's a pretty well-known thing that we all just casually say. I think it's called an idiom. I think is what they're called. But idioms are all those cat jumped over the moon, and that's all that stuff.
Like those things.
I think everyone knows behind closed doors, right? We don't know what they do behind closed doors. That's the line.
Or behind
but the
curtain
Pythia's insights will guide all of Aristoniki's future prophecies, shaping wars, politics, and relationships for years to come, and making Aristoniki one of the most powerful women in the ancient world. As the Pythia concludes her final lesson, she points to two inscriptions on the temple walls: "Know yourself" and "Nothing in excess."
Know yourself.
That's so brilliant. That's very like almost stoic and / Buddhist / a lot of other religions.
Nothing in excess.
Nothing in excess.
So for me, I guess that would be overexpressing myself when I have a knowing. That's what I kind of get out of it. Or don't overdo it. Don't be what you are not. Excess probably leads to embellishment. It leads to lies. It leads to all this. But if you know yourself, then you don't need to like add anything extra. That's interesting.
Yeah. This is very cool. Yeah, very wise. I like that. I always like making these connections. It's very cool.
Left alone to ponder these ideas, Aristoniki feels the first touch of Apollo's inspiration, the insight that keeping an open mind may be more important than finding a single answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
In ancient
It's true, because then, like we said earlier, your opinions are not being shaped by something else, and then you're just saying the words of something you've already heard. You
just got and it's interesting because philosophers will say that too. A lot of us kind of parrot or repeat what we've heard.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds good. And do we really agree with it or not? And it takes a lot of soul searching or thinking to kind of get there, or perhaps not, maybe just meditation, but to realize, I really do. I believe it because it's what I believe, not just because someone told me to.
Yeah. We've actually covered that before, and I forget what episode, but we have talked about that before. And the cool part is when we cover these, I learn something every time. So
Me too.
as you can see, they stack, which I love that they stack. Our conversations seem
Me
to
too.
work
Me too.
together. They're all puzzle pieces that kind of ebb and flow
Yeah.
together. So the I guess the last thing I want to share. So I'm into YouTube. I'm in the UFO space a little bit. The disclosure, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So when we send rockets up, so when NASA sends rockets up, there's people that are on higher levels, and how do I say this? So our rockets have the names of the old gods, like the Apollo, and like there's more
you're right.
of them.
Yeah.
And
Saturn V and Apollo 11 and so forth. Yeah.
someone that's really high up at NASA was when they go up there, they have orbs follow them. Some of the crafts that go into space, right? Like the astronauts say they saw orbs and things like that. So
All right.
basically, what I'm trying to say is like it's the old language. Like the Greeks seem to have gotten it right. They seem to have reached this point in communication with abstraction, which could be angelical or whatever, that even to this day, when they send rockets into space, they're still using like the old language to appease or perhaps talk to who's out there, whatever those orbs are. I think we've already been communicating with them for a very long time, and there is some sort of like high language that I think the Greeks kind of had a hold of, and I think it got lost. I think a lot of that ancient knowledge got destroyed, and people are returning again. They're returning back to the old way to communicate.
It's cool because it's like at least in the U.S. and probably the West really, because I know Europe calls its satellite navigation system the Galileo system. They're equivalent of like our GPS in the United States. It's really neat how we kind of connect like using Apollo and Saturn and the other names that escape me at the moment.
Sure, the old gods, the Greek gods.
The old gods. It's like we're connecting to our history. And at the same time, perhaps it's an offering to these gods. Like, please get us there and out safely. We're doing something we've never done before. Boldly going where no one's gone before, right?
Yeah.
Well, except the Soviets. But we're going into space. We're trying something new. Like, and it's like we're calling on them maybe for protection, but it's also a link to the history, and it's looking forward to the future. I think that's really cool. I love that about the human
most things that could happen have happened. Perhaps they were destroyed.
Yeah.
Like almost, I think there was so much stuff that was just destroyed. And I think most of the complex stuff has happened before, thousands and thousands of years ago, something. And, we changed. We went in a different direction, and we reassembled humanity, and we built our cities again. But I don't know, man. I got a feeling like a while ago that we were the gods, God, Jesus, all them. They seem to be some sort of thing we're returning to with communication through many different ways, be it our technology, be it through different computers we're creating. We seem to be getting back to that, and it's starting to go like more unanimously across everyday people. In the past, how much more do you hear about UFOs in the past 6 years on television? Way more.
It's true. Heard a lot about UFOs. Another thing I've heard about is a rise in religiosity, at least in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's kind of among younger people where they claim it's gone down until recently. And it's interesting because it's almost like the world's moving so fast. People want to try and ground themselves in something.
Yeah.
And some of these timeless, like I'll call them old stories,
Mm-hmm.
they still resonate with a lot of people. And I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just people like to connect to this, and they like to make sense of a world that's getting harder to understand.
Yeah.
It's almost like as we answer more get more answers, we get more questions too.
As we get more information, we also have to absorb it and disperse the information, which us as people have such a terrible time with. You can disperse it, but it might be a country that unites on an idea, a continent.
Yeah.
But when you get west to east, even to this day, you're getting like way different stories.
You're getting
that
different,
have
stories,
fundamental tropes that get changed so like just the fundamental stuff gets changed like in a weird way, and you're like, oh, I see what you're doing there, but you made that guy you don't like, and you made that lady you like, and that guy met the god, but now here you don't like him. It's like it's constantly happening with these archetypes.
Yeah, right. It's like Oh man.
It's really hard
Yeah.
to find. I think the answer is kind of what we got at the end of that video is know thyself. Work
I
on
think it's true.
yourself internally. This is what I'm doing. It seems to be working pretty well for me. I still get frustrated. I still feel pain. I still am frustrated by many things. But there's the thing inside of me that is really leveling up and learning in a very beautiful way. And it's from knowing myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Knowing yourself, I think it really goes a long way. Who are you really? And then like what are we doing in the world? Because a lot of times I think we easily and understandably get caught up in, well, this is what people say I should do, this is what a society says I should do, my culture, my religion, everything that's wrapped up in that. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, except if you're kind of going against who you really are. I mean, if you want to do that because that's who you really are, go for it. I say it's all good. But if it's not, or there are elements that you feel like you want to try a different path in your life, say try that, give it a shot.
Sure.
You can do it without offending people. And kind of surprising how much easier I think it will feel, at least in time, when you are, as Shakespeare said, true to yourself and not,
Yep. Well, in the beginning,
lying to yourself.
when you're a child and you're like on a different wavelength, right? You're not really submitting to the world yet. You're still kind of in that alpha state where, it's different. And then you get in this part of your life where all you want to do is be a part of everyone else. You just want to be like everyone else. You want to dress like the people of your decade. You want to wear the same shirts, get the same haircut. And that whole time kids think they're being uniquely different. You are absolutely becoming one of the same of your decade or whatever, decade and a half. And then as you get older, like me, I'm done not just playing pretend. I'm done putting on a performance to be like everyone else. I'm happy learning independently. And that's a big change. That's a big difference from, if you're like that when you're young, you need other people who are like that. Maybe you need to be in the East and have more of their culture because it's more embraced. In the West, if you're like sitting around talking about Socrates and Plato, the adults will be blown away by you. They'll be like, oh my God, he's so great. He's going play. And the kids will just be like, yeah, that's dumb. And it's
your
like,
fellow classmates be like, oh, you're like weird, man.
Oh, that's stupid. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, look at that girl. It's like, it's almost like they keep you dumb. They just stay dumb because you want to act like everyone else.
I always thought it was kind of strangely ironic in a society like America's, which emphasizes so heavily the individual and the libertarian spirit. Let's say you are you, and no one can tell you what to do. And yet, there seems to be, at least when we're younger, such a high degree of conformity.
Yes.
Like, oh no, I don't want to be individual. I want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
But I'm my own person. But I'm dressing like everyone, acting like everyone.
Yeah.
Wishing I was cool. You're right. And then I guess it's part of life's journey, right? As you get older, or maybe more experience, you start to realize, or I did at least too, that I still want people to like me, yes. But they'll like me more the more me that I am, I guess. As long as I'm within that range of social.
No matter where I go,
acceptable, right?
As an adult, if I don't like the same music as somebody, like they're not gonna be like at workplace, they're not going to like never want to see me again. And in school, it's just like, that group at the lunch table is like all into Taylor Swift. And then like, if you're not, then like, you're not going to sit here with us because this is how we combine,
Like, well, you're not a Swiftie. So you got to sit over there and eat lunch alone.
It could have easily been Britney Spears before that, Madonna, Janet Jackson. Just remove that little thing that makes them all do that, and there'll be another thing that has the same tropes, and it's just like what happens.
The human experience.
But detach, remove.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll learn more by not being like everyone else. It's important. Maybe when you're young, it's kind of important, but when you get in your 20s or whatever, like you need to pull back.
Yeah, I think part of that too, and I think it's an important phase in life. I mean, I'm not a development expert, but the important phase is like you're trying to discover who you are. So, in my mind, try different things, especially when you're very young. Try different things. I mean, don't go off the rails, ruin your life completely, but try different personalities, try, and then sometimes people can see what jives with who they are, and I guess that helps figure out.
I think one of the good ones that has been proven to be a good one is being an athlete. I think athletics unanimously are good because it shows, you work together, you try, you fail. That one works. Yeah, that one
Learning how to
I
play iterative games across time or seasons, or
yeah.
how to work as a team and to compete at the same
Yeah.
time.
And then also
Yeah,
you're
it's
working on your body, you're
true.
building your body, you're using your body.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. So if you put like
yeah.
athleticism with like learning, that's a very good combination, you know?
Yes, I agree 100%. Yeah, athletics and learning. Yeah, you get involved with sports if you can.
Yep.
If not, there are other ways. I mean, it's not like, but I agree. And I did not get involved with sports. I was not good at any
Yeah, I
sport when
wasn't
I was
interested. And
younger.
I could have been pretty good if I stuck with it, but I
Yeah,
didn't
I
care.
was similar. I was more interested in other things, but I definitely see the value of being involved in sports if that's what you're into,
Sure.
or give it a try. Find out. You might find it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right. So to end it, the oracle neither
Yes.
conceals nor reveals, but indicates. All right.
I like it.
Just points in the
Well said.
direction. And with that, we're out of here.